Help me ducks, it's Simon here. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. It's Saturday. I have actually in a couple of hours got my live cup of catching card. So this will probably go up after that because time and all that. I have set the live for 7 p.m. But I wanted to come on today to take a look at this. So I've had some decks sent to me by Red Feather, that I had chosen, I think, back end of last year from their catalogue. But I think there's been an issue with shipping and things like that. So a few arrived this week, and I know I've still got the Destiny decks to do as well. But out of all of them, I was really excited about this one because the Zerner Farber, Amy and Monty, their work I adore, absolutely adore. So, spoiler alert right at the beginning, and a full kind of disclaimer that, you know, this deck has been sent for the purpose of review, but I did choose it, and the reason why I chose it is because we now have their beautiful tarot deck, which has been around for a long time, in a tarot size, and that was the deal breaker for me. So most people will be aware of this deck as the Enchanted Tarot. Now this isn't the original Enchanted Tarot. This is the 25th anniversary edition, and I've had this for, gosh, 6 years maybe? I think I got this in 2018, maybe 2017. Yeah, 2017, I think. And this was the 25th anniversary edition with over 250,000 copies sold. So it's a very popular tarot deck. Gorgeous set that it came in. And, you know, it's had many kind of iterations of this deck. The problem, of course, for me was the size of the cards. And, you know, as I've mentioned before, it does have a great guidebook. Still got some little tags in there from when I was studying it. It's when you consider this is a standard tarot size, and this is the Enchanted Tarot size. Cardstock wasn't the best either, but, you know, it's by no means the worst. Gorgeous deck. I've just spent the last however long putting these back in order, so I can kind of show you a comparison with the new deck. But these images are really iconic. You know, I've seen them a lot of places and people love them. It's fabric that was used to, I mean, the intricate detail in them is stunning. But these huge borders were a little bit off-putting. And then I heard that there was a mini version that was part of a kind of a kit, a tarot kit that had been used. And a few years ago now, my lovely friend Sandra managed to locate it and sent it me as a birthday present. And this is the Tarot Discovery Kit, 78 tarot card deck with interactive DVD, satin bag and guidebook. And it's a lovely little kit, really. Again, it's got by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. So it's got there's a little bit about them at the back. You've got this DVD. I've never watched that DVD, to be honest. And then you've got this little version, the Enchanted World of Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. And I've just sat and put this in order. In fact, I was having a bit of a giggle with Sandra because I remember her buying it me and I could not find this anywhere because I didn't know what I was looking for on my shelves. I've got a shelf of decks behind me. I've got a shelf of decks, lots of shelves behind me and shelves in the back room. And because I couldn't remember what it was called, I didn't know what I was looking for because I've got a lot of tarot kits and things. Anyway, finally found it. Again, I've just sat and put this in order. So as you can see here, it's the same artwork, but it's in this mini version. Not bad cardstock, really. And the coloration is quite different. This is more gold and this is more yellow. This is kind of more of a lilac colour, this is more of a pink, but it's the same, obviously the same artwork that's been used. And the size difference from that on a standard tarot, you can see it's very mini. It's a lot shorter and a lot narrower. And comparing it with its predecessor, you can see what we've got here. So I think this deck, when was it released? I think it was about 1990, I want to say, something like that. Because this is the 25th year anniversary. Both I've noticed in the new version as well, it's got the quote from Marianne Williamson from Return to Love, and that's the discourse on A Course in Miracles. I've actually got that book. I read it years ago, but I want to say 1990 for this book, but let's have a look when it was released. 1992, originally published in the 1990, I'm right. Originally published in the United States in 1990 and the UK in 1992. And this was released in 2017. So that's the 25th anniversary edition, again, from when it came out in the UK. So it's been around for 33 years now, the Enchanted Tarot in some form. Okay, so let's leave these out for a second, just so we can have a look at what we get now. So it went out of print, as it often does, and then it's been picked up by Red Feather. If I put my scissors to hand. Yeah, Schiffer Red Feather have picked it up, and I saw it last year in their catalogue, and I was like, yes, the perfect. It's like the middle way, isn't it? We've got these huge cards, we've got these tiny cards, but I wanted it in a standard kind of tarot size, and I love Red Feather's production quality. The cardstock, they're usually gilded. I don't know if this is gilded or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. So what do we get? So here's the quote from Marianne Williamson. Monte and Amy have created a beautiful and powerful system that reveals the mystery, magic and meaning of the tarot. Theirs is my favourite contemporary deck and I use it often. And I think that's probably the same quote that's on this. Yes, so it's the same quote that was used on the Enchanted Tarot. And then it says, enter the enchanted worlds of Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. Everything you need to know to read tarot like a pro. Tap into your inner powers and explore your psychic potential with this richly symbolic 78 deck and 240-page guidebook. The beautiful Zerner Farber Tarot helps you understand the present, predict the future, and manifest your goals. There's nothing for you to memorize since all 78 cards are interpreted for you in both the upright and reversed positions. Not necessarily sure I'd agree, because, you know, I think it's great to kind of learn the tarot, especially if you don't want to rely on a book, but it's great that we've got a book as well. Each card includes a quick read. Well, that's good. So if you're in a hurry, keywords that trigger intuitive associations, plus the secret of each card that sums up what you need to know right now. You'll learn how to ask the right questions so you receive clear answers, while 12 master spread layouts show you how. No matter what your skill level, you can use this inspiring deck and guidebook to become aware of unseen influences, patterns of behavior, obstacles, and strengths to achieve the success and strengths to achieve success and expand your mind to new possibilities. It's fun, it's fascinating, and it works. So the kind of a standard blurb there. Beautiful magnetic box, quite a nice box. It looks like we're getting a decent sized box, so that would be, because the cards, if they're tarot size, well, I'm assuming they're tarot size, obviously it won't be this big, so this is obviously to house the book, which is 240. Oh, it's smaller than a tarot size. That's interesting. So it's not that much bigger. The colours, look at the difference in the colours. It's not that much bigger than the mini. Okay, which is, you know, you're getting a lot of box here for a very small deck, but we get this fab book. So let's have a look. The Zerner Farber Tarot. Let's see what it says here in terms of copyright 2022. So yeah, last year by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. Just checking that I'm still recording. I just heard my phone ping and that's always a worry. Doesn't say published by Red Feather. Doesn't say about its original. They've obviously got the rights now. In terms of the original, I'll say the original book, the 25th anniversary edition book, how many pages was this one? That's 208, and this is 240. And you get nice big colour meanings. Let's go to the Fool. Excuse me. So we've got colour images here. So the book that you get now compared to the original book, I mean, you still get colour pictures here. It's quite nice. Okay, so we've got here the Dream, the Awakenings, the Enchantment, whereas here we've got upright, reversed, we've got keywords. And you've got a quick read section in this book as well. Okay. So, what do we get? Oh, wow. Quite a lot here. Content. So you get a gentle warning. Well, introduction, a gentle warning, secrets about the tarot, the Zerner Farber Tarot. Then we go into the major arcana, numerical significance across the suits. That's interesting. Secrets for shuffling, cutting, and asking your deck questions. Asking your first questions. Meaning and secrets of the 78 cards of the tarot. So, we've kept with the hearts rather than cups, which is consistent all the way through. So we've got swords, hearts, wands, pentacles. So the only one that ever changed was the hearts for our cups, our emotions, our watery sign. Yeah, Queen of Hearts, look. So that's consistent all the way through. Yeah, so then we go into the introduction, the gentle warning. The tarot is not meant to dictate your actions and run your life. Rather than tell you what to do, the cards and various spread techniques will offer advice and put you in touch with how you feel about what is going on in your life, thereby helping you to make better decisions. Amen. More tarot books, I think, should kind of emphasize that. This is nice how it's spread out here. Keywords for hearts, you know, love, spirituality, talent, harmony, empathy, revelation, sensitivity. This is really nice. And this would have been helpful when I was learning the tarot, because you know, you think wands is fire. Fire is that sort of kind of drive and your passions and everything else. But we've got business, action, judgment, acumen, alertness, brevity, speed, order, plans, development. So I really like that, as well as a little write-up. So that's quite a nice section. Then we've got numerical significances. So it tells you what each of the numerical associations are. So let's see if the 5 is disruption. 5 represents unknown influences and can have a double meaning. They should always be read as a warning to the consultant to deal with the negative quality and re-establish the positive. 2, does it say about balance? Represents a premonition, warning, caution. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure, but you know, you take what resonates. So yeah, and then we go through each of the cards, and it looks like when we get to the minors, we still get, you know, as much information as we do with the majors, which is always a bonus for me. It's a nice book. I think I'm going to leave this out. It's Sunday tomorrow, and I think I might have a bit of a thumb through that. Yeah, this isn't really what I was expecting, because I was expecting a tarot size with it being re-released, but it is Diddy. So to give a size comparison with a standard tarot, I mean, it's bigger. It's bigger than when it was same width, but it's taller than what it was when it was in this kind of iteration. The gilding is beautiful. So it's that brushed matte gold, really stunning. Nice thick decks. The cardstock is really good quality cardstock. These are the backs, which remind me of the backs on when it was part of the Tarot Discovery kit. As you can see here, very similar design. Whereas the backs on the Enchanted Tarot, I mean, they're beautiful, the backs on the Enchanted Tarot, but very different. So we've gone back to kind of like when it was in a smaller format. They are matte, which is nice. This one here it's matte as well, but it's got a sheen. When it was the Enchanted Tarot, the same, not glossy, but there's a sheen, whereas this is no sheen. It's just a matte cardstock, nice silky smooth matte cardstock. Okay, so I know you've probably seen these images. Just trying to think. I'm going to bring the camera down and see. Let's do a bit of a comparison against the three, and then I'll do a flip through so you can enjoy the images at your leisure. Okay, so obviously the first thing to notice between the three is just the kind of the layout, really. On the Enchanted Tarot, there's a lot of border, particularly at the bottom for the title. So the title doesn't cut into the image in any way. In fact, let's do it with the Fool. Why am I doing it with the Magician? Doesn't cut into the image in any way, but each of the cards has this kind of tapestry effect that you can see here, and it goes the same with the others as well, and the other decks, and it changes for each one, particularly at the bottom, with this kind of tapestry effect. In terms of image, for this one, it's very similar in terms of the borders going around, but this one also has a little bit here of the tapestry at the bottom, can you see? And it is there on this one, but the title kind of covers that. And the titles are different from each one. This kind of has this flashpoint coming in with a number and the title. This, as I said, is in the border at the bottom, so you do see more image. And I know quite a lot of people have modified this deck and just, you know, taken this. I chose not to do that because not all the images are recognisable with an RWS system, for example. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, so these are borderless, and they just have a title in kind of like a banner at the bottom, which would appear around here in this tapestry part. Okay, so that's your differences, and of course the cardstock. I'd imagine if I put them side by side, this one is going to be a lot thicker. By how many cards? Oh gosh. By right up to the Sun, I think. Yes, so up to the Sun card. So it's thicker by this amount of cards because the cardstock is really, really good. Beautiful. All right, so let's bring the camera down a little bit more so you can see that, and then enjoy looking at the images. Okay, so there you have it. The Zerner Farber Tarot in its new format. So overall thoughts. Well, this is such an iconic and well-known and well-loved deck. I mean, if over 250,000 copies sold by, what, 2017, then, you know, I think it's wonderful that publishers such as Schiffer, Red Feather will pick up classic decks and keep them going throughout the ages so that different generations can love them as well. They've done a fantastic job in terms of the quality cardstock. The gilding is beautiful. This deck has so many purples and pinks, which is one of my favorite color combinations anyway. So I'm really pleased that we've got this purple and pink background. It feels like a lot of thought has gone into creating this deck. It's my favorite version out of the three because whilst this is a beauty, it is kind of, you know, too large to use and I didn't want to modify it. This version is great because I love the fact that we could get a mini version with all the borders off. This one just shuffles and glides like a dream. But the quality obviously is improved. However, they're both very similar in design and size. The downside for me is I think an opportunity has been missed because as far as I'm aware, and probably before the, when the Enchanted Tarot was out, before the 25th anniversary edition, it was probably in tarot format in terms of size. I kind of hoped that I would have that sort of bridging the gap between having something that was quite small and something that was quite large. Whereas this is still, as I said, a mini-ish deck compared to a standard tarot size. So I wish it had been released as a standard tarot size deck. That would have been just perfect for me. But, you know, it's still a little bit bigger, a little bit, but not a lot. And I know a lot of people out there prefer smaller decks, so maybe this is why it's been done. It's not tiny, you know. In my hands, which are huge, it's a decent size deck. You might have noticed when I was doing the walkthrough that a lot of the cards were stuck together because of the gilding. Once you separate them, then there's no issues at all. So yeah, so nice deck, very easy to overhand shuffle. I'm not a riffle shuffler, but I don't think I would anyway with this deck, but I know people do, and it doesn't matter if it's gilded. So yeah, nice deck. Oh, we've got the Five of Pentacles. Oh well, you know, there's lots of positives with the fives as well. Isn't it ironic that I was talking about the fives and then we get the Five of Pentacles? All right, so new version, Enchanted, and the Tarot Discovery version. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste, and blessed be.